Good morning, and thank you very much for joining us. I am Iyori Folarin. My guest this morning, first of all, we have Mr. Mayokun Christopher Ilo. Mr. Ilo is a governorship aspirant in Ogun State, APC, in particular, Yewa North local government area. You're very welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, Okuyori.
Being an aspirant means that you're going into the primaries.
Definitely.
And if everything goes your way, we'll be talking about the
candidate.
APC governorship candidate for
Definitely.
Ogun State.
Sure.
Along with as many other people who are aiming for
From
the
different
same
parties.
prize that you are aiming on.
Yeah, from the other parties.
From the other parties, even from your own party, Bakwa.
We are all aspirants now. So only one candidate can emerge after the primaries.
And I'm sure
I'll be the one, by the way.
Thank you very much for coming, sir.
You're welcome.
And right next to him is Mr. Evans Ofeli. Mr. Ofeli needs very little introduction. He's a lawyer, he's a friend of the house, and a political affairs analyst. Thank you very much for coming on.
Thank you. Good morning.
Indeed. Let me start with you because you're the politician and you guys are giving us so much fodder, so much stuff, so much information. The whole polity is a buzz, If it's not an impeachment here, somebody's complaining about the fickleness of politicians jumping ships without, as easily as you could drop your hat. Over the weekend, part of the whole dynamics of what's going on, over the weekend, you saw your party, APC, was up in Ilorin, for instance. Lai Mohammed, the Minister of Information, he had a meeting up there. The long and short of that was they felt that the party in Ilorin wasn't in the safest hands possible, if you get my meaning, and they sought to dissolve the APC there,
Thank you,
there, and that indeed has been done. And I was reading the papers this morning that APC actually backs that move. So these are part of the arrangements, right?
It's expected. You don't leave your children with snakes.
Oh dear.
If I can use that analogy. APC at the federal is in power. They want to control every state and local government. Now we have the Senate President who is leaning in the direction of opposition, to put it mildly. And he has control over the party structure in the state. The party doesn't belong to him. If he's going to PDP, the next thing that you will see, if this move have not been effected, is for him to take all those people alongside. So what APC structure, the national chairman and people with him have done, is to preempt that move, so that people will not be unduly influenced. People are loyal to APC on ground.
Yes.
We have control of everything. But the people we have put in charge are now becoming disloyal. So the closest thing you can do, any sane person will do it, is to remove them from the cookies.
Okay.
Let them get out. Let people that we believe are sympathetic to our cause, let them be in charge.
Okay, then. Well, Evans, as this kind of dynamics that we're hearing, yes, just as the gentleman was saying, that's the thinking, as he has said. But when you look at the people involved, Saraki, for instance, he's just explained, Saraki is thought of as a powerhouse up in Kwara, in Ilorin. And I wonder how significant you think all of this is, and indeed the move that has been executed by the ruling party, dissolving the EXCO there. They now have a caretaker committee in place. Does it mean very much, considering the reputed stature of the Sarakis generally, and in particular the current the Senate President, that doesn't matter? It doesn't matter what you do in there. The man has a hold on Kwara. Is that an overstatement? What's your thought?
Well, I'm glad that the ruling party, APC, they are beginning to wake up to their responsibilities, as it were. We have said it several times on this forum that this party seems to relax with its achievement. Its achievement came as a result of overwhelming support from the entire country. It was clear everybody wanted something different, and they gave it up. And then the party got this, and at some point we felt the party became docile in terms of its own aggravation, okay, of the polity, it became a little bit quiet. So, but this is a wake-up call, because if you look at it from the center, from the National Working Committee, there is a huge crisis there, and it came unexpectedly. Division came, fraction came, and all that. Now, the best thing to do is what they have done to make sure that, because Saraki, as it is a very powerful person in that region. Okay, definitely there is an accusation that he's leaning towards the PDP, even though he has not defected.
Technically, he's still a member of APC.
He's still a member of APC.
Although he himself has said that he will let you know his movements shortly.
Yes. But you know that in politics, especially in Nigeria, everything is possible. Because politics being a very selfish activity. It was Errol Laswell that said that politics is who gets what, when, and how. Now, politics is the authoritative allocation of value. Okay, so the party must be strategic. The party now is vigilant by dissolving the ESCO. And now because if you don't do that, you are going to have problem when the Senate president defects to any other party, because it's going to go with a lot of loyalists. You just look at when he got judgment at the Supreme Court on this matter and he went to Kwara. I mean, you could see that the entire state,
he had become a beautiful
even
bride,
the opposition party, okay, people all came out to rejoice with him.
It tells you.
No, what I mean is the entire state.
Oh, okay. So first of all,
because I saw people who were from the PDP, and I saw people who were from APC, and people who were from other parties all came up. But though it was not a political affair, really, but it tells you the man, is influential. And then whatever decision he takes is likely to affect the party. Okay, so what they've done is okay, it's right, it's a good move. So while we watch and see the outcome of the interplay of politics in the days to come, then the party also will begin to, because it's not enough to just dissolve. You also need their loyalty, because one of the problems I have with the APC is this: people are defecting, people are moving, there is fraction. The party had not been able to look at the causes. The cause and effect. The party should address the cause. Why are people leaving the house? Why? Because what the APC chairman is doing now is the wrong move. He's talking tough. He's saying those who are moving don't have electoral value. They don't have this, they don't have that. That is not it. Politics is about interest. You cannot ask people to remain in a house that is on fire. Once a house is on fire, people will want to move out and get safety. Okay. The best you can do is to negotiate the process, then call parties together, then look at measures for which you can address the problem, and then create a platform for where people will now have sense of belonging. But if you go back and now you take the job of the what do you call it, the spokesman of the party, and you as a chairman, you stop and begin to talk tough at other persons and people who are within the party. You are opening a vista and a harvest of further confusion.
All right. Yes. I feel almost certain that Mr. Elo will want to comment on this.
Yeah,
because
sure.
This is not the view from within APC at all. In fact, it's far from it.
In fact,
APC thinks that the place is a lot more sanitized now, and now we can see the road a lot more clearly, and now we can be much more effective vis-a-vis what we originally intended. That much has been said officially.
Yeah. What we have to realize...
The chairman of the party had said that we haven't lost very, very much. If you look at it deeply, we've actually gained. But what would you say, sir?
For those who are political watchers, this move is 3 years in the making. From day one, when Saraki came into PDP, it said...
Into APC?
Into APC. Politics is about interest. But at the level of some political players in Nigeria, if they don't get the presidency, nothing else matters. They want to control, not for what they can deliver. So that's where I will want to disagree with my brother here.
But I noted, sir, that when he was speaking and he got to the part about politics is a very selfish business, I actually saw you nod your head. There might not have been a cutaway to you, but it seemed to me that you agreed with that particular point.
It's a quotation. We
spent a lot of time on that particular theme yesterday, that politics has become a winner carry all, its access, as he put it, to power and resources. And we were having this long conversation yesterday on what's going on here. Is this real politics to benefit all, or is it a grabbing kind of wealth acquisition.
That is where the issue is for APC now. I don't agree with him not finding it funny what the chairman is doing.
Okay, yeah.
Chief Adams Oshomole is a pragmatist.
And actually, he has no apologies.
He has no apologies. APC should not have apologies.
He stated his opinion.
The thing is, these people living, they are living not because of the interest of the masses, but for selfish reasons. There is nothing APC will give them that will stop them from doing what they want to do. So the earlier you are able to measure your problem, accept where it is, know where your house is leaking, and block it. 2 or 3 governors may still yet defect. There is nothing you do that will stop those. Some senators too may follow suit. So if you can't measure a problem, you can't manage it. Since Adams Oshomole came into office, he has tried to know the extent of the problem. If he's talking tough, it's because he's tough. We know him from his days as a labor leader.
And you think the situation requires tough measures? Because
at this point, it doesn't mean that other things are not being done.
Okay.
When he went to see Governor Samuel Ortom before the defection, the tone was different. But the moment Ortom decamped, he had to be militant about it. You have to make it look as if it doesn't mean anything.
But apart from that, it's spilt milk. You can't be crying over spilt milk. It has happened. The deed has been done.
The governor is the chief security officer of the state. As at this morning, is in the report that 22 billion naira was allocated to, what do you call this money they withdraw from Treasury? Security votes.
Security vote.
Unaccounted for. And yet you have this volume of issues. Lagos State spends money on security vote. You see the piece. So he has to own up. You can't put the old buck at the table of the Mr. President. As governor, you have a response. Otherwise, you resign. Some of these people are in office not because of what they can do for the people, but because of what they can get. And it shouldn't be like that.
It shouldn't be like that. And as I said yesterday, that is what our theme really was, and that it doesn't look like it's about to change anytime soon. People are saying that this is the stage of our development in as far as democracy is concerned. America has had, 200 years? And so all these our squabbles, people should sort of understand it. I don't know, for how long? Because don't forget that the context of all of this is 2019. Success at the 2019 polls. Mr. President wants to continue. His party wants to continue. Of course, there are people who say that not necessarily so. Everything depends on the electorate. So all of these are maneuverings. And what do you think of the performance of both parties towards achieving, no doubt, eminence or prominence in 2019?
Well, before I get to that, just to pick on one of the expressions he made, that the chairman of the APC had to do what he's doing because. But I want to say that
requiring tough measures.
I want to say that it is not sound logic to think and say that people are leaving your house and it makes no effect. It's of no difference whatsoever. Perhaps you could say that.
Okay, you are talking about the PR of it now.
Yes, I'm saying.
Whereas I understand you, sir, I don't know if you consider that you are talking of the PR. The people who are actually driving the engine of it have looked at this is not a matter of the fine coat of the paint. It's a matter of the structure, the integrity of the engine, and that was what was in danger. F paint, F glossy finish. You know, the engine, what good condition is it? I don't know if you
No, because you see, because the party had always presented issues so most times they come up with issues of what they think the problem is.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, most of the times, they are not able to reconcile what they think with what they offload at the end of the day. Okay. We have seen it all through these 3 years and all that.
That's your read of the situation.
Going back to your question, yes, going back to your question as regards the performance of the 2 major political parties in this dispensation. Well, I think that the PDP, they have their own crisis. They have serious crisis, really. The whole of last year, it was battle, okay? I mean, before now, we also have problem there. Now, these people who are pulling out from APC to PDP because the Constitution has created a lacuna in that section 68, subsection 1G of the law that created that lacuna for them to, if they think there is division and all that, the Supreme Court had ruled that it has to come from the center and all that, and then they are moving. They are moving to a political party where they are not going to be willing to take the back seat. And there are people already there who are open for the front seat. And these people are moving from another political party to that party, and they too want the front seat. So you see that in the days ahead, there's still going to be crisis in this, because the troublemakers, okay, the problem for which you identify in the particular party for which you pulled out is also resident in the next political party you are going to. Yeah. So when you look at both parties in terms of performance in electioneering, I mean, both parties are not different. They are not different.
Okay, let's throw into the mix Benue State attempt to impeach the governor there. You were speaking about that earlier in brief. If he were to defect, the man was elected as, I know it's a difficult situation, the man was elected as an APC governor. If he moves now, what?
Well, the crux of the matter is he can't be removed based on the fact that he defected. The Constitution is clear on that. He cannot be impeached. Lawmakers can be impeached if they leave the party of their leaning. But for a governor, but that doesn't preclude other reasons being advanced for his impeachment. But the way this one is playing out, unless there's a change today or tomorrow, the reality on ground is constitutionally, it doesn't hold water. It cannot cannot put in motion an impeachment notice.
Even he himself.
1/3 of the lawmakers, which is they have 30 lawmakers, you need at least 10 to serve a notice of impeachment. 8 people did it. Whoever is orchestrating is not really helping the polity.
You see, we then go into this whole matter of calculus. Politics is, democracy is a game of numbers. How those numbers come about, it's a very involved affair, that kind of thing, because politics and in particular democracy is said to be in the game of numbers. But when we go into all of this calculus, we then begin to lose sight of the actual core function of politicians, which is all about good governance, taking the society out of where it was to where it needs to be based on their campaign promises. All of that is lost sight of, and we're going to be bogged down. In fact, there are those who are calling it a distraction. One of the points we made yesterday was that one of the reasons for all of this was that you have people who have been in public service and for 20 years or more without being civil servants and have been making the living entirely out of politics. You can then imagine the level of desperation. Is that a factor, that there's too many politicians that don't have anything else to do, and if they are not in office, they can't return to whatever their practice was, either going back to their farm, either going back to their clinic, going back to their law office, going back to their businesses. Very many people, their business is indeed politics. That's a fact. There's nothing we can do about that. Is that a problem, or not necessarily so? That's the way it is. You got to eat from something. How do you see it?
It's a problem. It's a problem because politicians will understand the essence of governance. The security and welfare of the people is the primary purpose of government. That is exactly what the law says in section 14, subsection 2. Okay? But here you have people who have no business with governance, people who just want to be in politics because of the gains, because of what they want to achieve.
Because we pay our politicians too much, according to many.
It's very attractive.
It's very attractive for very, very little.
So yes, perhaps,
and the qualifications they're not like any profession.
And even at the level of even getting the qualifications so low, the politicians are still forging results.
One moment, sir. Let me come back to you. I'll come straight back to you because I don't want to lose the body who's called in from Jos. Good morning, buddy, in Jos.
Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir. Thank you for calling in.
Good morning to your guests there.
Good morning.
I just want to contribute on the Oshomole dissolving the executive in Kwara State.
Sure.
What do you expect Oshomole to do? The three senators have already left. The Senate president has left, but he has not moved. The two left. The 6 people in the House of Representatives have moved. The chairman, Balogun Fulani, was saying the other time that Saraki should come and tell them where to go, that they are tired of this party. What do you expect this man to do? On Saraki issue, we in Kwara State, we are waiting. Saraki became governor in 2003, a right to that power because of his father, and the Obasanjo abracadabra then. In 2007, he became governor by the power of PDP. In the 2015 that he left, this is the time that he will not have the support of the center. Let him come and try his power. We in Kwara, we are tired. We are not slaves. Let him come and try it this time around. You will see. People will stay in Lagos, will stay in Anambra State and be telling that he's a powerful man. No, the person that was powerful was Oloye, the father that is dead. Let Saraki come and try.
There are people
win this election in Kwara State. You know that the last local government election, Saraki was defeated in this local government. That was organized by APC.
There are those, I've seen some commentators say that the man, the Senate president, has actually effectively inherited his whole father's structures, that his father that you refer to as Oloye, and that he has that whole thing locked down. What do you think of such commentaries?
Let me tell you. Okay, Uncle Yori, let me tell you something. The Oloye is a man that owns Kwara and Kogi there, the old Kwara, that is Kogi and Kwara State. But what I want you to understand is that Buhari was the influence that made them win that election in 2015. If the man still remain in PDP in 2015, I bet you he cannot win that Kwara State. I'm saying it. Just mark it. Maybe 2019 is coming. You will see. You will see.
Okay.
You will see. Let people stay in Lagos. Let people stay around and be saying this thing. Kwara people are tired. We are tired. There's no development for the past 16 years.
All right then. Well, thank you very much, Bode, for contributing your piece as well. You seem to be nodding in approval in parts.
Well, the truth is, I wouldn't want to blame the president, but the statement he made on the day of his inauguration actually brought us to where we are.
I am for everybody.
And I'm for nobody.
And I'm for nobody. Okay.
You know,
politicians have not taken that very, very kindly, but ordinary people that don't know too much book just looked at it as the man was saying that I'm going to be president of all. I'm not going to favor anyone.
There is
I
the
can't be president
letter
of
and there
APC.
is the spirit. You can go with the letter, but the spirit should have been different.
Oh, okay.
He said politics
because he's a politician
who gets
as well.
what, when, and how. You can't be the president and not be interested, at least for a nascent democracy like our own, in who becomes the Senate president.
Okay.
You know, when he gave his go-ahead to whoever wants to become it, he didn't know the extent some of the players will go.
The implications
of it. You understand?
It was too genteel.
In fact, if
a thought.
It was too much risk.
If President Buhari was supposed to get 90% for his activities in these 4 years, the fact that this other man came in as Senate president will reduce it effectively to 40. Because they are looking at some...
And there's a sense in which you blame the president for
when President Buhari, by the grace of God, wins in 2019, by 2023, by the rotation we are doing, everybody will be looking at this power to come back to the south. Some people are not happy about that. So they will do what... So some of these security issues we are having in this country, while I want the president and whoever is in charge of the architecture of security to do more, you cannot rule out fifth columnist.
Okay. Good morning, Mr. George, for holding on. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good morning, Uncle Yori.
Good morning, sir.
And good morning to Evans and
Mr. Ilo.
Man wearing Ibikule Amosun cap.
Mr. Ilo.
Good morning.
It's my mentor.
If he wins the primary,
yes.
it would mean that only people that wear that cap is the governor of
can get that state.
Uncle Yori, talking more seriously. You know, some people who are saying that Oshemole is this and that, do they expect a man to be crying because he has lost something, so life must not go on again? And by the way, what has he lost? The people that are moving away, of what value were they to the party? If you recall, Uncle Yori, we have discussed on this program severally. There are 3 anti-corruption bills that the president sent to the National Assembly almost 3 years now. They have been killed there by these people. They have never been of value, actually, to the good governance of this administration. So if such people are leaving your house, why should you be crying, Mr. Ophelia? You only cry if you are losing a valuable object. How do you cry when you are losing something that is not of value to you in the first place? So that must be understood. I would like to appeal to Oshiomhole that what he has just done in Kwara State now, he should do it in other states that are likely to follow suit, such as Sokoto State. And the governors, they know that have already made up their mind. There's no need waiting. This is why I have often said that Chief Oyegun was the problem of the APC. If he was the chairman, for example, he wouldn't do anything about all these things. You will not see any move to solve a problem. That is why the APC came to this point. Now that they have a chairman that one can call a chairman, let him do what he's got to do. I don't believe in crying over paid milk.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for calling in. You know, Evan, so I had to interrupt you. And, well, in addition to what you were going to say before, you know, the slight sort of veering that has come from the contributions, the point is made that we had a situation where the National Assembly constituted itself into an effective opposition, even though there was a majority in the House. Yes. And fighting corruption was one of the main planks. Mr. George recalls there that bills towards achieving this aim did not see much joy in the National Assembly. Executive Order 6 came, and we were still wrangling over that. Executive Order 6, by the way, the Minister of Information was in here to explain it to us, that it first of all affects only, if I remember, 190-something cases or something like that, that are currently in the court systems, and that if a matter is not at the 50 million naira level, it's not affected by it. But the long and short of that Executive Order 6 was any monies thought to be corruption money would be frozen in those accounts pending adjudication. And then, yes, in the law courts. And, you know, so the president, the party, the ruling party and the president have had to resort to all sorts of maneuvers in order to achieve its aim from within its own party, maneuvering around its own party members.
Yes. Because
I've been asked to take Biola in Ilorin, so I'll come straight to you. Good morning, Mr. Biola in Ilorin. We can take you now, Biola in Ilorin.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah. Please, Uncle Yori, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
Good morning, Uncle Yori. Uncle Yori, do you hear me?
We can hear you.
Uncle Yori, I want to support my brother who come from the Jos. I'm there from Ilorin.
Okay.
We from Kwara State, tired about Saraki. Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. I guess that might just go and happen. Calling from Ilorin, we don't know how it works. There's a feedback because of the satellite, so there's a delay. Even though we heard the man from Jos very, very clearly, and now the man from Ilorin we didn't hear. But see if you can get in again. We'll go on a break now. Don't go anywhere, please. We'll be right back. See if you can get back in. We'd like to hear from you, Biola, in Ilorin. Welcome back. We're looking at the polity. All of it is towards 2019 elections. One paper in front of me here summarizes it, succinctly. Lawmakers, 8 lawmakers attempt to remove Benue governor. Imo Assembly has impeached the deputy governor. Kano speaker loses his seat. And we were talking before we went on break about the commentary was on Ilorin, its value, and Senate President Saraki. And the point was, we lost one caller who called in from Ilorin. We lost him. He was going to support someone who had called in earlier that, look, we are on ground here. We know it. And I had, offered the suggestion that, look, commentators are saying that the man, Senate President Saraki, he is no pushover. He is thought of as astute and calculating and take no prisoners kind of a politician. You used a word that I don't want to repeat, talking about his cunning and his cunning, and so you underrate or ignore him at your own peril. I think I've heard the commentary that actually the next big battle is going to be between Senate President Saraki and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, but that's maybe moving a few steps ahead of us. The commentary we are hearing from those people that let the time come, then we'll see that Oloye, the father, and in his time he was of MPN and he was the Senate leader, Senate majority leader.
Yeah.
And so you have a situation where Saraki, the President Saraki, has parlayed himself into sort of national view, prominence. There are those who are saying that his sphere of influence was hardly beyond Kwara at the time. I keep on wanting to come to you, and then I'm told that I have another guy from where? Ibadan. Who? Mr. Olawale from Ibadan. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Please go ahead, sir.
Yeah, my name is Olawale Taiwo from Ibadan.
Okay. We'd like to hear from you. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's about this defection and also the impeachment. I want to know from the
Please continue. Don't worry about the feedback, the echo.
Okay, it's about this Benue impeachment.
Yes,
from
yes.
The people that from those 8 people that have done the defection, is it the total number of the people in the assembly that can do that, or those that are in the meeting, the 2/3 of those that are in the meeting?
Okay. Interesting question. Okay, thank you very much. It's a straightforward question. Would you like to take a stab at it? You're a lawyer.
The answer is in section 181 of the 1999 Constitution as amended. There it is stated that 2/3 majority of the members, not those who are in attendance.
On the day of an event.
Yes.
Those on the roll, on the register.
Yes. So, and the 8 cannot impeach because 8 is not up to 2/3 majority. And he has also clarified
he also said that before.
Perhaps you need much more number to have that effected.
Okay, so now back to the point of the relative importance of people who are defecting vis-a-vis fortunes at the election, and we happen to be talking about Saraki.
I still don't want to believe that those who are defecting have no relevance.
Oh no,
because politics is a dangerous activity.
I think no relevance. Nobody has said no relevance, but that you have at the point that APC still holds its majority in the National Assembly. Yeah. It's a slimmer one, but it still holds it's a leaner one, but it still holds its majority. And as you said, there will be political speak. Yeah. But I guess what they're saying is that it's not lethal. These people can move. It's not lethal, and
there are people who are still going to defer from PDP to APC. You understand? So that is what politics is. What you see is what you determine. Okay, a politician is seeing something different. Some people in PDP now, they are looking at APC as an opportunity now, to go in and then.
So they're going to be. Yakub in Dokwemu. Good morning, sir.
Yeah, it's very good morning, sir.
Thank you for calling.
And good morning to your guests in the studio. I had one of your guests said earlier that Oshiomhole is doing the job of the party chairman and then also doing the job of the National Public Secretary. I think
no,
he has to
not
do
this
that.
morning. Okay. Oh, Mr. Evans had said that. Okay, please,
Yes,
please continue. My error.
I think Oshiomhole needs to do that. If you look at the way the station is now, may God Almighty allow not test our loyalty. Because the person of Bolaji Abdullahi, his loyalty has been tested now, right away. You see, his boss already moved. I don't agree with George for the first time that he's already moved in the soul and then the body is still here. Both the body and the soul is already moved on. The issue is this. If Saraki, the way he did now, he's already moved. And then look at Bolaji Abdullahi. You can hardly see him do the work of the party very well. See, if you know that if he dare do anything that tells Saraki that he is doing the job the way he's supposed to do it, it's going to backfire on him. And then I quite agree with somebody that comes from, I don't know where it's come from, that said that the Kwara State has the tire of the man. You see, this 2019 election is going to be very interesting. You know why? You see, some people are already saying that they are the political thug of this very particular president. They are always disrupt the election where they know they cannot win the election. That is number one. Number two, if the election come on today, in Kwara State, yes, the man still have some kind of level that he control Kwara, but it cannot be Uhuru for him this time around. Because the people, I have a lot of friends from Kwara State. The people of Kwara State, they know the kind of person he is now. That is number one. Number two, Oshiomhole, I want him to do something quickly. According to Mr. George, he should be able to expel both Saraki and the governor of that very particular state, and then the governor of Sokoto State as well. It's either here or there. If you go ahead and expel Saraki, we know that it's already go. If you expel him, everybody in the party will know that it's already expelled from the party. And then we know where we are. Because you cannot have enemy within. The enemy within is not easy to defeat. So that you know who enemy is. Thank you and God bless you.
Indeed, thank you very much. I think your turn now.
I agree with him. It's the earlier you know where you stand, the better for everybody.
But this is the interesting thing about politics, and because we must all play by the rules, it is known already that Senate President Saraki is no longer with the ruling APC in his mind. Hence the interesting expression, his mind has gone, his body remains. That's
the thing is playing for time. You have to understand it from that perspective.
Yes.
When Tambuwal defected from PDP to APC in 2014, he did it around October and went on recess till December. This time around, maybe APC is lucky that they are showing their true colors earlier than that, so that you apprise the situation. What are we going to do about this? I'm sure they are not losing sleep, but at the same time, they are not really sleeping. So what they are doing is, okay, let's know the extent of the damage. Because you can't, like he said, there's no way you can actually write everything off. Even if you say that in public. At the back, are we losing or are we winning? In Kano, for instance, there is a mixed match between how much is the crowd of Kwankwaso and how much is the crowd that will vote for Buhari, come rain, come shine. So you want to be sure. 8 of the lawmakers defected alongside Kwankwaso to PDP, but they have 44 a local government. So the lawmakers, maybe less than 25% of them. That means if the rest stay true, they belong to APC. And you'll be surprised that APC will still win handily.
That's the way the party is feeling, what you've just said, even though you are of the APC. I said, but this is the calculation that has gone about. And well, it's like Evans was warning that people can't afford to take anything for granted. It seemed to be the point that he was making. Femi in Surulere, good morning, sir.
Good morning to all of you.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling.
So my own contribution is that from even before the formation of that party, we knew all these things will happen.
Okay.
We knew that there's going to be all these things will happen, but we didn't know that at the early stage of the party like that, somebody who is a very strong member of the party will commit treason against our party. But as it has happened now, as it has happened, there is no problem. And I love the way Oshiomhole handled the issue of Kwara. he has been able to cut one of the leg of Bukola. At the end of the day now, when the new executive is formed, even those people whom he thought will follow him, so many of them are going to remain in APC. And a lot of people from other parties are going to come in because it will become a very good and fertile ground for them to achieve their aim, their objective. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Interesting point that you make there. That when that time comes, we'll see how it shall, how the cards shall fall. That reminds me of Senator Teju Osho, who was reported to also be on the way out, only to show up. I understand to much applause at Aso Rock with a meeting that the president was having with those still loyal to the party. So it's like people are testing the waters on both sides, especially those about to defect, and we've not quite seen how the cards are going to fall, how the deck is falling.
Yeah, and we should not conclude this discussion because the people in Kwara that called in are saying, okay, it's not what you think from Lagos. What you're saying there is not what you think.
Somebody said that.
But I
also
want them to, why they state that they should carry along the electoral process as presently constituted. The electoral process we have now, I mean, INEC itself and all that, is it strong enough to support the facts, the fact on ground, according to them? Okay, can these people still deliver based on what the people from Kwara who called in thinks? Because aside from who is going to win and who is going to lose, we also need to know that the umpire is solid enough to deliver the mandate and the voice of the people. You understand? So when they talk, I think
an accurate reflection of the will of the people.
Yes, a reflection of the will of the people is, as it's constituted now, the electoral system, can it deliver on that? That should be carried along, because politicians have way of influence in those institutions as well. So the people could be saying something else, and the result could be something else.
Okay, I see.
So that is why I think that we should
that's
factor all this
that's
in.
Very important.
In our discourse.
Mazi Okoroafo in Arochukwu. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Sir Yori. Good morning, our guests in the studio. Honestly speaking, Sir Yori, if you look at what is happening now, you see that the political parties in Nigeria, the same agenda, the same profile, the same ideology, the same group of people. And you ask yourself, what plans do they have for the voters? What plans do they have for the commoners in Nigeria? You see, statistics have shown that the Institute of Management and Technology show that people join parties for two things. One, power. Two, money. You ask yourself, what plans do all these political parties ask for us? Now, we saw what happened in Benue State. They have now turned the state, even the Kano State, they have turned the state now to what? House of commotion and what? Confusion. Even among themselves there now, nobody cares about the constitution, even the party's constitution. Now, even the ruling party, at least if they put food on the table, I've made healthcare available, I've made education available. You don't need to, because like I used to tell you, if you have something to offer, you don't need to stress yourself. Because you know already you have something to offer. But the situation in Nigeria, whereby people will come, they have any agenda, there's nothing they have now. People come to campaign, they will list all those liturgy, and then tell them to give you the type of solution they are going to follow to solve it. They will not give you. That is what Nigeria is facing. But the thing is this, all this tsunami, erosion, eruption that is going on, in 4 months and everything will settle. Thank you very much. Have a blessed day in Lagos.
Thank you very much, Mazi Okoroafo in Arochukwu. And thank you for returning to that theme of what politics should be about, that is much, missed in our own situation now. People have related that to, as they put it, the level of development of our politics, where people are going in there. I mean, people are busy uplifting themselves so that they can present themselves to the electorate as the man to choose. People don't have vision. Politicians of vision, we've lost out on that. It seems like a cliche to return to the days of the First Republic, the Awolowos, the Azikiwes, the Sadanas, all those people that had a vision that went beyond their personal interest. Now we have politicians that are interested in getting a Ferrari as a main objective. as getting more houses
of Ferraris.
as main objective, as opposed to developing the people, education. Nobody has it as a main problem that we got to raise the healthcare, we got to raise education, we got to raise infrastructure.
And they are not remorseful. Now that we are not the poverty of the world, the most poorest country in the world, they are not remorseful. They are not sorry.
I think for me as a politician, why did I join APC?
Yes.
I've been a technocrat over the course of my working years.
Can I come back to you, sir? I don't, because I'm in danger of losing Namdi. Namdi has called in from Surulere. Good morning, Namdi.
Good morning.
Thank you for calling in. Go ahead, please.
The situation in Nigerian politics now is the politicians have turned us to a game of chess. We are the ball. Nigeria is the ball. We are the chess. We are the chess pieces. The fact is, anybody can decide that today this party is not favoring me. Let me switch over to this other side and see whether I will find greater pastures here. They did it in 2014/2015. Now they are doing it again. The fact is, it's a cycle, a recycle. They are only doing the same thing over and over again. See the situation. Everybody is decamping from here to here. Why? Their belly is not filled up. We are here blaming APC, saying this is my party, the other person saying this is my party. Let us all stop this biased behavior. My party, my party, my party. Nigeria, I'm moving forward. Did they put APC there to favor APC people, or put Buhari there to favor the Nigerian people? We've forgotten that the Constitution says that a president is for all. Why is it that we are making it APC and PDP? Okay. If it's the problem of Nigeria, today we blame political parties, tomorrow we blame tribalism. Let us stop all this ideology. It is fake. It's a fiction.
Okay. Well, thank you very much for calling in. You were about to, if I understood it, dissociate yourself from those politicians who come in there for their own self-interest, never mind enlightened, just their own self-interest.
Yeah. For me, if you want to go into politics, you have to have a personal vision. Then the party you are joining on the basis of, you have to identify with what they are trying to do.
So that's why, for instance, you chose APC. You could have chosen PDP. You could have chosen any other party.
I could have chosen PDP. PDP has been around since 1999. But the narrative of PDP is not what I think any right-thinking Nigerian should identify with. They are unrepentant, even with the massive looting that took place under their watch. I just feel I cannot in good conscience go to such a party. Then I went into APC manifesto. My decision was 20% based on the manifesto of APC. It's a vision.
What percent?
20.
20% based on the vision?
60% was on the leadership of my governor.
Okay.
In Ogun State.
Okay.
Not, we castigate politicians, but there are some people that they are different. We've had good governors in Lagos over the years.
Yes.
If you go to Ogun State, something similar. This man grew the internally generated revenue of the state from 730 million in a month to more than 7.5 billion every month now. We have the largest number of industries, among others.
So you have such progressive leadership.
We have progressive leaders.
And the party within
so
which they were able to achieve all of that.
Yeah, so it's a plus for the party. Okay. And those are the kind of people you lean towards.
All right. Let me take Tayo. Ilorin has been calling in a lot today. Thank you for that, Ilorin. Good morning, Tayo.
Good morning, Okuyori.
Good morning, sir.
I would just like to make this brief contribution.
Sure.
As regards the weight of the defectors, the Senate President, this is the critical analysis of the so-called weight. Majority of the eligible voters, which are basically the elderly and the women, are those that are following this man vigorously. On ground, the youth, which are the average youth from average families, are so-called tired, and they don't want a repeat of this rulership. But the truth of the matter is, we've had cause to supervise and to analyze the result of elections from Kwara. These youths, some of them, only two among them who have voters card, does not even go to vote. Some of them will accredit. They will not wait to vote. So this man for 3 years has been feeding this elderly woman. This man for 3 years has gathered the largest number of women in Kwara State, or women in Kwara State. So I'm not saying logically on the street, you hear people in cyber cafes on campus say, we don't want Saraki again, but ask them, how many of them have PVC? None. So the truth of the matter is, it is out there that they don't want him, but the truth is, he still has his followers.
His structure.
Yeah, he has the structure, and all of his followers consisting of women, and you know when women are dedicated to a cause, and the elderly, the disabled,
yes,
the artisans.
Okay,
he has all of them covered, and they are all registered with PVC. So on the day of the voting, they are the one who trumped to the polling unit. And you see youth leaving the polling unit to watch football matches, leaving the polling unit to go and charge their phones. So it is not about who you want or who you don't. The truth is who has the structure and who has the capacity to deliver. But I can tell you, 2019, this man will deliver Kwara again. It is the truth.
Okay. So thank you very much for calling in. So you are saying that you wouldn't write off, Saraki, and thank you for your analysis. Well, again, it's about structure, right?
Yeah, you can't write him off. You can't write him off. Nothing exists in a vacuum. If you want to dislodge him, you have to present something else. Somebody who is sellable and a structure that can rival his own structure.
Interesting point he makes there about analyzing the support base of Bukola Saraki, which he inherited from his father, Olushola Saraki. And interesting the way he makes it that the hoi polloi, just about everybody. Remember back in the day?
The man is a welfarist in his state.
In his own state, because every Friday back in the day, when his father was alive, they'd all go there on a Friday, just go, and you would be taken care of, that kind of thing. So that structure has been coming from ages. That is the point I was making earlier, that he is reported to have effectively taken over that structure. So, well, this is politics. No doubt politicians are continually calculating. There's calculus going on that goes beyond arithmetic. But the point APC has made is that all of this is very, very good, because for the first time in a long while, we have the room to maneuver now that the pretenders are out. They have been referred to as enemy within, but it is significant that they still have the majority for all of this. And you pointed out it's still fluid. There are people that will be coming in. Maybe there's some more that will be going out.
Yes.
So we just keep watching, right?
Yeah.
Nobody can say he really knows where it's going, but
APC
feels confident.
The average Nigerian can watch, but I'm sure the political gladiators will not just sit down and watch.
No.
But the important thing for us as young people in the country,
I think Munir in Kano, I think we just lost Munir. He was going to contribute from Kano. So, well, actually, it's nowadays, it's like every day is going to be one. If it's not one thing, it's another, adjusting the political field, and we will keep a tab on it.
To support what the last speaker said, are we really getting our PVCs? If you want change, it's not the Twitter that will deliver it. It's actual voting on election day. And you don't get your PVC on the day of election. You get it ahead of time. Then our youths too that are looking for change.
Yes.
What are they really doing?
Which is the
I'm
point.
a young person. I chose to come out.
Yes.
I chose to make myself available to serve my country. They too should do that.
And this is the
APC
point
is looking for young people. You understand? Instead of complaining about these old politicians in the system.
The young people have to be committed. So that's the thing about
what
politics.
They do these days is
you can't just be doing Rankadede Babake. You have to be
It's beyond just
politically.
PVC. What are you doing? Are you contributing politically to the system?
So hopefully the youths are knowing this, because these are important things, because at the end of the day, it's theirs, the youth. It belongs to them.
Yes.
This is there tomorrow. I just hope that they will understand it. I want to thank you very much, gentlemen. We're going to keep on this theme. Things will be happening. Maybe tomorrow we'll come here. One governor has been impeached, but we'll keep a tab on it. Thank you very much, Mr. Mayokun Christopher Ilo, governorship aspirant in Ogun State. My state, in Ogun State. And
thank you.
Also, by the way, you're a petroleum engineer and a lecturer at NIJ. Did I get that right?
Yeah, you did.
Thank you very much for calling. And Mr. Evans Ufeli, lawyer and political affairs analyst. Thank you very much, gentlemen, for sharing your perspectives with us.
Thank you.
And so that's our program today. Please join us tomorrow for a fresh edition. I am Yori Folari. Bye-bye for now.